We are on day 16, going into 17. Had to think about it for a second there of the 21-day mindset challenge. And if you have been following along so far, congrats for having reached this stage. And today I'm focusing on entrepreneurship skills and looking at what skills do you believe you possess that could benefit or help you in your entrepreneurship journey. And if you haven't discovered it, then hopefully the previous steps have helped you to tap into more about what your life passion and vision is. There's As we go towards the end, I'll also probably on 20 the last day, I'll talk a little bit more about life vision planning so that you can connect more with things that work on your behalf rather than working in a way where you're like forcing yourself to do certain things against a force, a resistance. So it's more about tapping into things that you're passionate about, you enjoy, and skills that you already have rather than making it more challenging. Okay, so entrepreneurship skills. What skills do you believe you possess right now that can help you with your entrepreneurship journey? So I'm just going to adjust my camera. And also, I have like a prompter just to help me to keep on track. Anything I talk about, I'll expand further in my blog post. And I usually have links in the comment section as well to direct you to my blog post. If you're joining me for the very first time, welcome. And for the return viewers, welcome. Do hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified of my upcoming videos and any videos, live or uploaded videos. Okay, so I was just briefly scanning through Forbes magazine, which is a good source for your entrepreneurship venture if you haven't read it yet. But I think most people are aware of Forbes magazine. It's very useful to learn about what's going on in terms of entrepreneurship. So the thing why I wanted to tap into that, it was just a curiosity about what people believe are the key skills in entrepreneurship. And often you will find that maybe you're one of these people who has been held back from starting your entrepreneurship venture because you may believe that you're not skilled enough. You need to continue learning. So you find yourself attending webinars, training, numerous training, attending events, and feeling still not that confident to launch. The best thing to do ever is to start from where you are and then build on it. You already have existing skills that can help you to make that first step. And as you progress forward, you will discover that you will be acquiring your skills as you go along the way. Case in example is myself. Aside from like leadership and management background, the soft tech skills in digital marketing and social media I learned as I was progressing into my entrepreneurship venture. I already had pre-existing coaching and business skills for my professional background. So I used those and then I added on top as I went along. So that's my reflection looking back, what has helped. Okay, so in terms of what Forbes magazine has given as examples, I'll use them just as the uh, key headers, okay, just to give you some insight of what people think are the key skills entrepreneurs need. Okay, so this listed as curiosity, time management, strategic planning and thinking, efficiency, resilience, communication, networking, and finance. Okay, so I'll go through a few of those examples just to give you an idea. And then towards the end, do stick through towards the end. I'll ask you questions which can then help you to start focusing on how you establish your entrepreneurship venture, or grow as you are expanding in your entrepreneurship journey. Okay, so the first one is curiosity. So curiosity is about being open-minded. You will find that most entrepreneurs are curious about growth, about potential, about what's possible, and curious enough to do research, including taking risks. Okay, a risk into believing in their own path, and also new skills that are out there which will help other people. So it's for curiosity. It's, for instance, if you're experiencing a problem there, and you find entrepreneurs are curious about what is the solution that I can offer people. So it's that curiosity, always thinking about what is the next best solution that I can offer to my existing clients and prospective clients, and always thinking one step ahead, and being able to let go of those self-limiting beliefs which we talked about in the beginning. Okay, so that's an example. So looking to solving problems, offering new solutions, taking risk in venturing off to new ventures, and curious enough to embrace new concepts, being open-minded. Then the next one is time management, which is essential. Time management in being smart. I talked before about uh, have not working hard. Okay, because there's always this belief that hustle 24/7, work hard. It's looking at being more efficient and effective. Working hard does not necessarily produce results. You may find yourself being caught up in mundane tasks. So when you are an entrepreneur, which links in nicely with time management and strategic thinking, you always want to have that 360 overview over you and your entrepreneurship venture, rather than being fully embedded in it. Being fully embedded in it, it's like you almost disregard the opportunities that are out there that could help you to earn income-based results. Okay, so focusing on income-producing results rather than on mundane tasks. And this fits in nicely with the 80/20 rule. So I'll just read a little bit of what I found from Investopedia, and that's another site that I go on once in a while just to find out what's going on in the world as well of entrepreneurship and business. Okay, so the 80/20 rule is often used to point out that 80% of the company's revenue is generated by 20% of its customers. Okay, viewed in a way that it might be advantageous for a company to focus on 20% of its clients that are responsible for the 80% of their revenue, and market specifically to them. Okay, so you will find that if you're on social media and you're always focusing like on new clients, I always see people like panicking, saying, "Oh my goodness, I need new followers, I need more likes." But what you will find, you may be doing, other people may be doing it as well, is that there is this anxiety that if you don't have more followers, then the likelihood is that you're not attracting the right people, when it is you already have existing people there that are being ignored. So it's always beneficial to focus on the smaller percentage of people who you already have, who are already your avid fans, and they're the people who will easily champion you into word of mouth, for example, spreading the word about who you are. And they're the people who also you can also benefit from in learning more about what are the key things that are the problems that they're confronted by, what solutions they're interested in. And if you're like on TikTok, Instagram, for instance, you will find that with analytics, those same people will help you to assess what key topics are the highest, which ones are your existing followers or audience interested in, so that you can narrow down your skill area, the topics that your existing audience is interested in. So start from what you already have and expand on that. Okay, so champion those people by they may have rather than ignoring that. Okay, I see a lot of people like ignoring comments like on social media platforms, and you see like a thread of comments unanswered. That doesn't benefit you in the long run. Okay, it hurts any growth potential that you can have in the future. So always think about working with the existing people that you have. Resilience is my favorite one. And on my YouTube channel, you also find another video where I talked about resilience. And it's a key skill that you will find that most entrepreneurs have. So everything that I'm giving you, it's more about the personality traits rather than the techie bits, rather than the education, being like a full-time student. And these are all skills, learning and development skills. I'll call them continuous learning and development skills that are lifetime skills that you can develop. Not We're not born as being entrepreneurs. It's things that we learn from external sources, and then characteristics that you develop like over time independently as well, and with support from your community and your circle of influence. Your network is your net worth. I just thought I'd tie that one in nicely with that one. So resilience is about being less occupied about problems. Okay, so when you focus on a problem, the more it grows. When a problem appears, it's looking at leadership and management qualities, coaching qualities, looking at what is the solution that I need to, or what is the lesson that this problem is showing me, and then what is the solution that I need to work on in order to solve this problem. And then when problems come your way, then you start to appreciate that part of entrepreneurship is a life journey that is forever changing. Its current never stays the same. So, this is where it helps not to be complacent and not to ignore that. With time, there's always going to be change. It's always going to be cyclical. Just in terms of wins, there will be losses, there will be turbulences, an up and down roller coaster, and be ready to embrace that ride, regardless of what it throws at you, because you then adapt this mindset to be solution focused, to be open minded, to realizing that nothing stays the same and problems will come. The lessons you're learning, you're not failing, rather you're learning from them. And then when you move on beyond, let's say, 5 years, 10 years time, looking back, you will see how much growth you have developed as a result of putting one foot after the other and making your imprints in this world. So less worrying about, oh my goodness, I'm failing, or existential crisis, what will people think? It's more about, I am going to test this out. I'm going to look at solutions. I'm going to do my best. And if it doesn't work out, at least I've learned something from it. Now, what can I use as a growth area based on what I've learned? Okay. So then moving on to communication and networking, this tie in nicely as well. And I've covered the key examples. Let me just see if there's anything else left. Oh, there's finance and sales. So let me just cover briefly communication and networking. They tie in as it's inevitable that as part of being an entrepreneur, you are automatically branding or inadvertently branding your personality as soon as you have a social media platform. So communication is essential in terms of knowing to be concise, and also knowing who your ideal audience is, knowing what, speaking in their language, knowing what their needs are and the solutions that they're looking for. And through networking, social listening comes in. It's being able to pick up what sort of communication is taking place in my community, my social and professional community, and what are the changing currents in terms of what my network is saying. And so this is where I talked about your network is your net worth, and they're the ones also where you can become the best version of yourself that you visualize becoming, as it becomes your testing ground to challenge yourself in overcoming self-limiting beliefs, self-doubt, self-sabotage moments, and so forth. Okay, now moving on to finance and sales. I made a note, and I'll provide the resources in my blog post. Sell or be sold to. Okay, that's in relation to sales, and it ties in nicely with finance. It's inevitable as well. Finance and sales go hand in hand in being an entrepreneur, and they're key skills to have. You don't have to be an accountant. It's just being aware of your budget monthly in terms of what needs to go out for advertising, and planning strategically on what's going to produce you the best results, income producing results, and not fearing spending a little bit on advertising, on branding, as this is what will also help you in the long run. And you don't have to like spend thousands or millions nowadays. There's tools online where you can actually, like Canva, for instance, where you can easily create most of your branding, and paid advertising does not cost that much. It's something that will help you to raise further awareness about your brand occasionally, so that you attract new potential prospective clients in your local area or globally as well. And in terms of like finances or paid advertising, it's also beyond that. Marketing and anywhere you spend your finances, like outsourcing your services, it's also overcoming that fear that you're wasting money, even if you don't get anything in return. Think about more long term rather than short term. Always focus on the long term rather than immediate results. There's this sense of urgency nowadays that if something, due to social media, anxiety ridden, that if something is not happening immediately, then you're not benefiting, you're not doing something right, which is not accurate. It's about being patient, and this is where resilience comes in. Remember, even paid advertising or anything that you use your funds on are not a guarantee. They are an opportunity to raise further awareness in order to attract people over a prolonged period of time, because you have to take people through a customer journey where they have to get to know, like, and trust you, get to know who you are as a person as well. Okay, so I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I've missed out. Okay, just in terms of, yeah, Sell or Be Sold To is a book by Grant Cardone, which you can also listen to on audio. The pronunciation slipped there a bit. On audio, you can find his book on Amazon, and I'll include the link in my blog post. Audio or the actual book, to help you to just understand a little bit about sales. Sales is about moving to more innovative practices, moving away from traditional practices where it was like direct sales. It's more being humanistic, empathetic, understanding what are people's needs, and offering solutions based on attraction marketing. Okay, investing time in content creation so you niche down and attract your ideal clients without having to waste your resources chasing people all the time. Okay, so that also is about being consistent in the messages that you create in your content, in your video, in your written or video format, so that you give people the opportunity to get to know who you are. Oh, yes. And then the last one in sales is about also creating automated systems, remembering that, like blog posts, for instance, or sales funnels, email marketing, people may not opt in immediately. Over the long period, you will see that there will be silent people in the background who could opt in when you're somewhere on a holiday without you even having to be there, because all some aspect of your business has been automated. You've created sales funnels which enable you to focus on other things like the strategic planning, while in the background things are being automated through your sales funnel process, and that also includes ads. Lastly, I hope everything that I've shared has helped so far. I'm just going to focus on 3 questions to close off. If you've got any specific questions, feel free to leave comments below. Remember to hit the subscribe button, especially if you haven't subscribed yet, just to be kept up to date. So the tasks that you can walk away with today, any questions that I usually pose at the end of my blog post is, uh, based on everything that we've covered so far, what sort of pre-existing professional and specialist skills do you believe you already have right now that you can help people with, that you can offer solutions? So this can be professional skills, hobbies you've picked along the way, things that you actually enjoy, that you do easily, that you can use then to create content to educate other people. Also tie it into things that people say you're great at. Like for instance, people come to you to ask specific questions, you solve specific problems, and this can also be an array of things, including techie things as well. What have you heard people say in the past you're great at doing? Okay, so look, focusing on what you already know, including hobbies and leisure activities that you're passionate about, that you can use as your launching pad, and then linking in with your life vision and your passion so that the road going forward is much easier. Remember to also ask yourself questions like why? Okay, why is this so important? What is my greater purpose? What is my reason why? Who are my ideal clients? Who do I want to help? Who could benefit from this solution that I'm about to offer? Okay, so that every time you're creating content, then you're automatically thinking, you're writing with those people in mind. So those are called your ideal client persona or avatar. Okay, so then choose. So it's also about challenging yourself to overcome your self-limiting beliefs. Like if you don't feel comfortable on video, is now the best time to challenge yourself to overcome your self-limiting beliefs, as this is tied to your greater purpose in life, to be able to offer solutions to people who need the offer that you have to provide, so that they get to know you. Okay, so if you're not out there, then how will people discover you? That's just an example. What are your specific fears that you need to challenge yourself to start overcoming? Then choose 1 day or 2 days a week where you map out your content based on what you already know, so that if you don't have time during the week, you can then automate your content to be posted like on social media platforms or through your email marketing system, so that you have this regular flow of content. And it doesn't necessarily have to be every day. It's just about being active on some level and tying it into when is your ideal audience most active, and you will get to know that through your analytics. So I'm going to end it there, and I hope you found today's steps or days of challenge beneficial. Let me know what you're going to challenge yourself to do more going forward. And I look forward to you joining me. We don't have much to go. This was 16, 17. And the rest of the steps or the challenges, it will just be summarizing really, and ending it off with life vision planning, focusing more on affirmations, which were part of the challenge anyway. For the people who joined from day one, they would have been looking at overcoming self-limiting beliefs every day, embracing gratitude and affirmations. So it will just be a summary to review. How have you progressed so far? you're not late. If you're joining now, you can always go back and start to day one. Ciao for me for now. Until next time.